the bumps and the potholes of life, we are miraculous, unexpectedly great. We are shocked to know the electromagnetic reality that takes place within us, where miracles happen every second, because life on earth in the flesh is a miracle. Miraculous because we were made through a pure thought that touched a high frequency that manifests as a vibration of love. Now you see us, but someday you won't. Alive when you see us, alive when you don't. What the mind fails to calculate, the soul won't. We hold the key to our miraculous. How's everybody doing? My name is James Graham. We're here at our Haven Classics Books and Gifts down in Trenton, downtown Trenton, New Jersey. And I have another special guest, another poet who's been writing and delighting her fans for a while now, Rebecca Bonham.
Hi.
Say hello. Now, Miss Rebecca is been doing poetry for how long?
I've actually, my first speaking engagement was at my 8th grade graduation.
Okay.
I wrote a poem about how great my school was that I did not believe at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to read it in front of all of my graduating class and all of their parents for the first time.
Oh, wow. So she's been writing since she's been in the 8th grade. So one of the things that we like about poets is that they're always willing to share what they're feeling inside. What is your favorite poem, and what turns you to poetry and expressing yourself?
I grew up in a family with 9 children.
Mm-hmm.
So the only place to escape and to have your own feelings heard was either in a book or writing one.
Wow.
So what I used to do is write for solitude, write for myself, write to be heard. And then I carried that through some really difficult situations in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And what I finally got the courage to write my own book and to start taking off that mask and letting people see what's underneath. That and being supported by the community and the audiences, and that just encouraged me to write and tell more of my life and share experiences with other people.
Awesome. Rebecca is also an author, and she has written how many books? 4?
I just wrote one book.
Just one? Okay.
I just wrote one book,
Okay.
but the other books that I did bring is some of my authors that I've published.
Okay.
And we support them as much as ourselves.
Okay. How many have you published? And you've published?
We have we established in 2018, and we have published 12 books
12.
so far.
Wow.
And we have 3 more coming in the spring.
Awesome. Tell us about your latest project.
My latest project and my first personal project is Model Poet. And like I said, I did write to get through some difficult periods of my life. And one of those was through domestic violence. I was a victim of domestic violence. And when I was able to get out of that and safe, I found that even though I was safe, I still had all those feelings as if I wasn't. And one of the things is when you live in that situation, you don't want to be seen. You don't want to be heard, because if you're seen and heard, that can cause you more problems, more violence, more issues. So after I got out of that situation, I started being able to hear my own voice again, and started to get the courage to come out and read and to share these experiences in the hopes that if my words can convince someone else to move out of that place in their life, that's my job and my experience that I need to take to someone else. I need to inspire someone else to look at me and the safety that I'm in now, and know it wasn't always that way, and you can work yourself out of that situation.
Yes, that is awesome. It's also, it's like being in a ministry, because you understand
and how to speak to someone that's going through your own reality, and and that reality can actually help someone. That's what we're all about here at Academy of Divine Poetry and Early Expression, is that if you have something to write about, sing about, play about, um, do your artistry about, just come out and be inspired to do it. And it's going to help someone, even if you don't know who they are. Someone's going to be helped. So, Rebecca, do you have something, one of your favorite pieces in the book, or is it short poems, or is it?
I have a few short poems, and I have a few longer ones.
Mhm.
When I read someone else's work, or if I hear someone else's work, my first question is, what poem or what can I read in your book that will let me know who you are the most?
Yes.
What poem represents you as a person the most? And I have one of those in my book.
Could you, would you like to share one with
Sure.
us?
It might be a little longer one,
That's
but
fine.
I will read that. I wrote this in the spring of 2021, after the first spring after the pandemic, and I was full of sadness for the year before, and hope for the year coming. It's called Life is Good at Shalom Cemetery. Every March I itch, peering hopefully at my forsythia, begging for the yellow blossoms that say it's okay, it's time, they're ready, they're already here. And when they opened today, I went for my 15th spring walk through Shalom Cemetery. Open dawn till dusk, no dogs allowed. I cross the street and I pass the sign, which looks newly painted. I should know. The last fall, I thought, like me, it was just hanging on to the stone pillar that keeps the dead in and the dogs out.
Mm.
Immediately I turn right. The living here have rules, or at least I do. There are stops that I must make for people that I've only met after they've ended up here. Alexander is a first. His spirit called to me when I happened upon his friend, sitting and sobbing in futility. I, out for a walk, empty-handed, asked if I could assist. He needed more than matches to light his lantern in memory. So I pulled a lighter from my bra, and I hugged poor Alex's friend, and I cried with him as it floated away. I now stop for Alexander, and I check in. A quick trip around the loop. There are no children today, learning how to skate and ride with bright helmets and pads and new bicycles and nervous parents. None of that today. This section is sad. This year I walk solemnly around too many fresh graves. I taught my own Alexander how to ride and later how to drive through the safe and winding paths. We pedal past through the back part, past the chapel in the shade and the shadows, past that spooky stone where it's always cold. I wonder if those buried there have seen how much he's grown.
Mm.
Around the chapel to the sunny side, the dead make themselves known. I find inspiration and poems happen here. And another stop in my determined stride, I like to stand underneath the dripping blooms of the willow trees. I say hi to Mary, who I only recently found. Last year there was a placard outlining her life. She was a publisher, an author, as well as a mother and a Civil War soldier's wife. I like to stop and reflect on our similarities. On to the other side where the serious walkers and runners go. There are rules for the living, and down the long stretch, not even the oak trees grow. Just rows and rows of family stones. This is the busiest part. I try to avoid the grieving and the kids smoking pot. The final leg, and I start to run, and I always pick up my pace before I get to the veteran stones. I like to think when I'm sweaty and winded, I hear them cheer me on. I stop to straighten the falling flags for those who fell too soon. It's a neutral day at Shalom Cemetery. No laughter or sorrow from the living or dead. Just a gift of rebirth and inspiration as they pass back through the iron gates.
Wow.
Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice. Inspiring. Inspiring. Just to let people know that life is one, you know. But, yeah. Inspiring. What will you where can they find your book? And or when is your next open mic that you're going to be promoting or doing?
You can find Model Poet on Amazon by Rebecca Bonham.
Awesome.
Also, too, I run a open mic workshop and feature read in Millville, New Jersey at Bogart's Bookstore on High Street.
All right.
I do that every third Saturday of the month.
Every third Saturday of the month in Millville. Say the name again.
Bogart's Bookstore and Cafe on High Street in Millville, New Jersey.
All right. Come on out and support Rebecca and the open mic in Millville when you get a chance. It's every third Thursday of the month.
Saturday.
Third Saturday of the month in Millville. So come on out and support Rebecca so she can inspire you, and you can give someone else your inspiration to help someone else. Now, are you going to be joining us for the open mic we have today, or you have time?
Yes, I will be actually featuring at the open mic today.
Awesome. So come on out. Come on down today. We're here at Classics Bookstore, Downtown Trenton. You can meet Miss Rebecca today. Now, you have to be from 2 to 4. So come on out and join us for the open mic at our Haven Classics Bookstore. We're here every first Saturday with the open mic of the month. Every first Saturday of the month. So come on out. We thank you for your time. We thank you for your writing. We thank you for your inspiration for others. And keep on doing what you're doing, Rebecca.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Use it and open the door to all the miracles. Nothing can stop us when we walk on through. No pain from the past, because we live in the now. Racism is a race that we already won. Clouds do rain in the sky, but they can't stop the sun from uplifting life to its true purpose. Miraculous, we feel our purpose. Unseen to the seen, to return to the unseen. Being life. Life justified by principles to live, give, and get whatever we think, speak, and act into existence. When we know we are a miracle, don't ever stop living miraculous. I am miraculous.